Hi, Radio Milwaukee listeners. I'm Aisha Jaffer, and thanks so much for joining us for the 4th episode of the 414 Live Variety Hour. Since we can't have you inside our studios for our usual 414 Live, we've evolved this series into a monthly TV show here at the station. We're bringing TRL, but just for Milwaukee, of course. We're talking to artists about making that sweet music, their experiences in this unusual time, and a whole slew of surprises you would not expect anywhere else. As always, we want to do something a little different with 414 Live this time as we carry on our mission to create a better, more inclusive, and engaged Milwaukee. This is not your typical live stream. Although we're not together in person, you are our live studio audience, and we encourage you to be a part of this event. So let's adapt to the times together as 88.9 is still here to elevate the voices of those we have in the city and support our local artists and community here. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey. First up, we have a quartet that fits in any era. It's Fuzzysurf.
Yay!
Yay!
Hello.
Hey, guys. I love that you guys are separate but together. This is like what the time is about. So where are you all? Tell me.
We're in my basement.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
I'm in my basement.
Yeah. That seems appropriate for the time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you guys have been rocking it for the past few years. You haven't been a band that long, from my understanding, I think since 2017. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about right. 20
Yeah. I mean, as a full, like as a solo project, 2017, I started, and then a year later, was it a year
About
later?
April 2018.
And then I got
Yeah.
these guys on board. So
Nice.
So
So
Craigslist.
yeah.
oh, what? Okay, wait.
Mhm.
Hold that thought, because I want to say a bunch of nice things about you before I get deeper into that. So I know you've been a band for those few years. You did solo before then, and then now you have been killing it with being in Radio Milwaukee's top 100 albums of 2019, Milwaukee Records top 25 albums of last year, and nominated for a Wisconsin Area Music Award. And the list goes on and on. And there's something I've been dying to know then. So now that I know you've started as a solo project, I wanted to know if the sound was consciously thought of, or if it was when you gathered together that this very unique sound was created. Because to me, it sounds like quartet barbershop mixed with surf and punk, or surf and indie. And I've never heard anything like it.
I think, when it first started, I was trying to do something with, hence the name Fuzzysurf, but I was trying to mix Black Sabbath with surf music. So that was kind of the idea.
Nice.
So I did that, and then I kind of went more towards an alternative side for our first album, Hometown Feeling, kind of like a throwback kind of to my younger years with, kind of 90s alt rock type of sound. And then when we formed the band, we kind of wanted to go in a more, I don't know, how would you?
Retro-ish,
Yeah,
60s
retro-ish.
rock.
Yeah, like 60s rock kind of, but updated, with surf elements and stuff like that. So
little Motown.
Yeah.
yeah.
I heard that, which is like my background. So I absolutely love that. And you kind of answered my next question, because I know that I'm aware that after discovering the human world on a bad trip, you all decided to leave your own worlds and come together to create Fuzzysurf. But what is the story that listeners don't know? I know now that it starts with Craigslist. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Forming a band was like, it was tough for me because I hadn't been a band for a long time. And I was kind of peripherally in the Milwaukee music scene, watching shows, going to shows by myself. So no one really knew I was there, but essentially I was trying to find people to play with. And so I, put up some flyers in some record shops. I used Craigslist for the first time. I found Ben on some kind of like band member finding site, and I literally just paid the subscription for a month just so I can message him once. And I was like, hey, like, you look like you can play music. You want to be in my band? And so then he came over, we played, and he got the job. And then Corey was from Craigslist as well, and Mike was from Craigslist. So.
And that's the first time you use Craigslist. So you are just like the luckiest person in the world.
I'd never even been on it before. I didn't know how to start a band. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, you did it and you succeeded, and it's so exciting. And you guys all have like your own personality, and it comes through so well, especially in the videos, which I need to talk about. But first, I think the most important thing that we need to address is you have a new album called Sweet Tooth, and it came out earlier this month. And from my understanding, it's conceptual and there's a little bit of a satirical element to it. So what inspired the concept of this record?
I think it's like a piggyback off our last album. Our last album, when we were kind of doing a throwback to a 1960s kind of pop group aesthetic. And I think we just wanted to expand on that a little bit, add some more influences in. Corey plays horns, so we wanted to add horns. I know you like horns, so we purposely made this album. But we wanted to add like some more dance element and stuff like that, and to expand like where we're going musically wise.
Yeah, I've been trying to get brass in there for a long time. They finally let me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really funny because we released our album last year in May, and Sean like immediately sent us like all of these songs being like, oh, I've got another album if you guys want to record them. So we were on the high of like, we just got this really awesome first album as a band. And then we were coming back from, I forget what show we were playing, some like outdoor festival. And he just dropped like 12 songs. And I remember Corey, Ben, and I were just in the car like, holy cow, this is amazing. Like, we have to start writing this immediately. So like we were promoting our last album and writing this new one all at the same time.
That's wild. Is there a drive for that? Is there a reason that it just keeps coming for you?
I think we just want to keep doing more and more stuff as much as we can while we can do it. Got a lot of songs, so it's just kind of we're figuring out together kind of what direction we want to go. And with the planning with the Sweet Tooth album, like that was completely a band type of thing. And we sat down, we kind of discussed like what aesthetic choices we wanted to go with the album, what kind of like sound to an extent and stuff like that, and what type of like subject matter and things like that. So it's turning really into a collaborative kind of group, which is great. And like you said, we've all got different personalities, and so like it's great to be able to showcase all those and all the talents and strengths of everyone, and we kind of complement each other really well. Surprisingly, I mean, even from Craigslist finding, I think like I couldn't be luckier to have these guys. So
I can't be more surprised. I don't know if I want to promote that you should go on Craigslist to find your band, but it's cool that you had a success with that.
I was desperate.
So I can't help but notice, just as I mentioned, your music videos are a huge part of what you guys do. You have 4 music videos to go along with this album release alone. And your video for Killing Time, released earlier this year, has been accepted in numerous film festivals like Rincon International Film Festival and Hobnobbin. And I have to say, I feel like this music video was personally made for my enjoyment because it's like park rangers and slasher films, which is my background, being a props master on slasher films and a park ranger. So I think it's A+++. So what is this music video life for your band? Tell me more about this side of you.
Oh man.
It's a big question.
This is a Sean question for sure, because like I can give you my perspective. The first time he pitched the music video to me, I was like so not sold at all. I was just like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? This is the one with the Muppets for Denny. And I went and filmed it, and like I think I missed like the first one. Like I blew it off because of work, and I guess like I was not thrilled about it, I guess, from my perspective. And then like Sean's just like, no, we have to. He just drives home these like big visions. And then when that video came out, it was just like just a totally different way to share our music. That was the coolest thing. And then like he's just like the vision behind each and every one of these videos.
But isn't it every band's dream to become a puppet? Like, to me, that's like, I mean, Mike, if you ever want to swap out, I'm ready to tag it. That's amazing. It's so cool. Sean, I love the concepts. Tell me more about that. I need to know.
Usually I try to shoot for the stars, and then we come down to the normal level. I mean, it's collaborative as well. I mean, I'll come up with a crazy idea, and I'll honestly, we'll just kind of throw it back and forth, over text or Skype or Slack or whatever, or in person. But then we kind of figure out what is actually reasonable to do. What can we actually pull off? But we've been really lucky with the talent that we've worked with like Joe Ludwig, Tommy Sims, Eric Dollister he's done a video for us. He's doing another video for us. So it's more of like a creative thing, like the initial idea and then kind of refining it, but really playing off those guys too, the directors and stuff like that. I mean, they are a huge part of it because in this band, anything really goes for us. Like whatever's good, then we use it. And like, there's all crazy ideas are welcome. So
I also think this is my first time talking. So hello.
Yay.
This is Ben.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben.
I also think that a lot of this, a lot of the music videos and just imagery that we have in general comes from a lot of influences from our youth. Like talk about the puppets and stuff like that, Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock, the Muppets, all this stuff, but as well as the horror elements from it. I know that Sean and myself are horror movie fans, like 80s slasher films and stuff like that. But we also had Sean for our last album did another music video for our song Don't Worry Baby, and that had a really like Nosferatu, like old classic horror movie film to it, like style to it as well. And I think that we pull a lot of that from things that we liked and experienced in our youth, such as the I Don't Dream Anymore video. We each pulled like things that we enjoyed as kids and brought it into that video as well. So
that's awesome. I can feel that. And maybe we're in the same generation because I can feel those influences and absolutely love them. I'm so grateful to have you guys here, Fuzzysurf. This has been so much fun. Before we get into a day in the life with you, I want to know, how can our Radio Milwaukee listeners support you?
Oh, the social medias, of course, we're in that age, right? We got the Facebooks, we got the Bandcamp, all that stuff.
Instagram, Twitter,
Spotify.
Yeah. Follow us on Spotify.
Nice.
Listen to us on repeat.
That's a good one. Spotify. Yeah. Facebook.
Spotify until you go to bed. Just repeat.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Fuzzysurf, for joining us. Here's a day in the life with Fuzzysurf on 414 Live Variety Hour.
Oh, hey! I'm Sean from Fuzzysurf, and today I want to show you some of my favorite places around Tosa on this beautiful Saturday. Don't change, not the way you once did before. Rehash the spooky sounds instead of explore. New sounds is what we're bringing next to the shore. First place I want to show you is the Tosa's Farmers Market. It's been going on for about 10 years now. Even though the weather's kind of rainy right now, it's not dampening anyone's spirits. Let's check it out. Got some honey. We won't ever compromise just for you. In short, that's what genuine people do. In school, they never touch a trophy.
So this is a ground cherry. It's from the tomatillo family, so similar to a tomato, but used more like a fruit. So like in pies and jam, I use them just like this. Great for snacks.
We know now what the critics always assumed.
Sadly, no Pete's Pops today.
My brother's actually the baker, and
He's Steven.
Steven.
Okay.
Yeah, taking the weekend off. He's had it as a hobby for like the last 8 or 9 years. He started doing this just about the time of the pandemic.
What's in the Milwaukee? So it's maple bourbon. It has a chipotle cheddar also mixed into it. Oh, yeah.
power, endurance, athleticism. Hi, I'm Ben, and after a long day of playing bass, eating Cheetos, and watching Judge Judy, I like to come here and play a round of tennis to unwind at Cahill Square in Whitefish Bay. But tennis isn't the only thing you can do here. You can also shoot some hoops on the basketball court. You can watch a Little League game with your family, or you can go to the playground. But no matter what you do, you're going to have a good time. I guarantee it.
Now that's what I call an ace.
And I'm Sean. Wait. And I'm Corey. And I'm gonna pick up where Sean left off. We can go check out one more spot. So you can definitely visit the Menominee River Parkway without rollerblades, but it would definitely enhance the experience to have them and a dog to pull you. Now, I would also recommend bringing some plastic bags for the trip in case a member of your party needs to poop at any point. On my left, one of those many features, Hartung Park. Great place for a picnic, day with the kids, some hiking trails, slides, swings, got everything.
Surf on it, take 6.
Changing plans on the slide, man. He says he's leaving for California, where the dreams are selling, but the buyers had enough to spend the weekend, live amongst the stars, gonna wipe a night there, living like
That was so much fun. Surfana by Fuzzysurf, and a day in the life with Fuzzysurf, which makes me want to hang out with them more after this pandemic is over. I'll be hitting them up for some tennis tricks, and I don't know, that dog is incredibly strong. That was amazing. Thanks guys so much for joining us. I now have an incredible guest. No seatbelts coming up just after this.
Radio can be passive. You have your presets, you're listening, but you're not really listening. Radio Milwaukee is for those that want to be active, actively discovering new music, actively learning about Milwaukee. Radio Milwaukee is a radio station, but we strive to be way more because we have a mission. We're working to bring Milwaukee together through music and stories. If you strive for more, you belong here. Listen on air, online, or on your smart speaker.
If I say, hey, Alexa, play 88.9 Radio Milwaukee, will you all be mad at me? I'm very excited to be here for the 414 Live Variety Hour. My next guest is No Seatbelts. Hey, Kendall, how's it going?
Hi, it's pretty good. How are you?
Good. Thanks so much for joining me. Where are you joining me from?
My living room.
Yes.
Yay.
It's so nice that we can do this like in the comfort of our own homes, really, truly.
I love it. I have sweatpants on. I mean, I probably shouldn't say anything, but I do. So
it's fine. Well, I'm going to dive right into it with you because I know No Seatbelts. They caught my attention. You guys caught my attention because you have this track called Daydreamin'. And I heard jazz fusion, the soul portrayed in a way that I haven't heard before. And I find it incredibly beautiful. And I know you guys have a motto, which is super powerful. It's no limits, no boundaries, no seatbelts.
Yeah.
Which I feel that comes through the music. I just wanted to ask if you could tell me more about the statement, music and beyond.
Well, the statement really is just like a life that we want to live. No Seatbelts is like a band formed of like individual artists, kind of. We kind of have like our own thing, and then we come together just to make music. Like, so to say like no limits, no boundaries, we are creative, and a lot of times we can get stuck. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to work a regular 9-to-5 job. We want to have like all of these things, but at the same time, we have a creative bone in our body, and we just want to push our limits with that in life and with creatively. So that's basically what it means. Yeah.
That's amazing. And you kind of touched on what I was going to ask you about, because to me, you guys are a super group and you're a collaborative collective, and you all have your own careers and your own careers, not only creatively and otherwise, but you get together. I know it's Calvin on bass, DC on drums, you on vocals, Curtis Crump on sax, Quentin Farr on piano, and Chris Olver on guitar.
Yes,
and
perfect.
all incredible musicians. So
yeah.
Did you find each other through the projects that you were doing, or how did you guys all kind of gather together?
So it was kind of, Calvin put everybody together.
Oh, okay.
Calvin is friends with everybody individually, and then kind of brought everybody together to form this band. He had been playing with like DC for like 3 or 4 years before the band. Me and Quentin Farr actually were in Foreign Goods before this. Me and Curtis and Calvin used to be in a group called Rhythm Changes before this. So we're kind of just like all over the place. And then like Chris, we just found him. we saw him playing at a gig, me and Calvin, and we were like, who is this guy? And he's not like from Milwaukee. And we were like, do you want to play music? He's like, yeah. And that's how we got him. So
the wild card.
Yeah, basically. but we all have been kind of like friends or close or known each other in some form or fashion for years now. So
is the creating process for you guys, because there's no boundaries, like, does it feel really easy to kind of jam together and create these songs?
Yeah. So our first project was really just us throwing out an idea, a stable like idea, and then just jamming on it for like an hour. Not even an hour. That's a little much. But just jamming on it, and then me recording it on my phone. And whatever was good, that's what we stuck with. And then actually recording it in the studio. So it is easy. And plus it's easy when everybody is friends. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets along.
Yeah.
And then they play with each other outside of, or we all play with each other outside of this. So bringing ideas from where we came from, or like, because a lot of us play in church and a lot of us play in like cover bands and things like that. So like bringing those elements to this jazz fusion band really helps.
That's amazing. And that kind of brings me to my next point, because you mentioned church. And I know that you guys haven't gotten together in a while during this time, because it's a wild time. It's a very scary time in the city of Milwaukee, and really the world at current is going through some really unprecedented times. So how have you guys been able to navigate this new normal, or is it only till recently you kind of have been able to kind of come together?
It's funny. It's been an adjustment. In the beginning of the year, we were skyrocketing. We were featured on so many different things. We were releasing our music video, releasing singles. We were working, you know?
Yes.
And the pandemic happened, and we didn't really know how to work within that. Because we are individuals, we still kind of do our own thing. Because a lot of people have like studios in their house and things like that, but we didn't want to like spread germs. We didn't, it was just a lot. So we are adjusting. We are working on releasing a live album soon, and releasing a single. It's just been very hands off though. Like, I see you and I see you, Yeah. So doing this for the 414 Live was really refreshing, because we didn't want to be in someone's house. So we were able to use a church and record. And then, so yeah, it's been weird though. It's been weird.
Yeah, to say the least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's great that you were able to use that space, and it sounds incredible. And you guys are all, our viewers, our listeners are going to hear it in just a moment. But I do want to talk about another thing you mentioned about your releases, because I know you released a music video for the song I'm about to play for everyone. It's called The One, which, can you tell me a bit about this? Because I feel like this is so like maybe drop before the times, but always the times.
Yeah.
It's such an important song, and it has an incredible video to go along with it. Can you talk about this a little bit?
So The One was written by me and Calvin, the bass player. We actually were just going to create it with me and him, just by ourselves. And then we were like, no, this is dope. Like, we need to share this with the whole band. And honestly, it was a play on 70s music. I love the 70s, and I because I wrote the lyrics, like every time I perform it, I just feel like I'm some like disco queen with like all the sparkles in the world, lights everywhere, and just like over the top. So
I want to
writing, yeah, that's the goal, to eventually be able to sing that song doing all of that. So that was the concept for my lyrics, and just being inspired by the bass line. I just wanted to be a disco queen, honestly.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's amazing.
I'm glad you think so.
Definitely, I suggest everybody check out that music video, that song we're going to play. I'm very excited. So before we let you go, though, how can people support you and No Seatbelts?
You can support us by following us on Instagram, No Seatbelts Music. You can follow us on Facebook. Facebook and Instagrams are our strong points. We also have a YouTube channel with all of our songs that we have released and some videos coming soon. So also you can follow, just follow us on any social media. Google is great because you can always Google any artist, and you can find literally any social media or platform that they're on. So
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Kendall, from No Seatbelts. We're going to go into a little bit about cars and the origin of No Seatbelts here now on the 414 Live Variety Hour.
All right. Nice.
Hey, this is Calvin Turner from No Seatbelts. I'm the bass player / the founder of No Seatbelts. And No Seatbelts is a band with no limits and no boundaries, and y'all probably wonder how we got there. All right. So, how we got there is, one, we started with a select few people, which were great people, amazing people, easy people to work with, but also have amazing talents, just overall great and like very genuine people. So how we got there was, how we got the name was from, one day me and the drummer DC was out talking about cars or whatever, and he was like, "Hey, call the band No Seatbelts." I thought about it. I'm like, no seatbelts. Some people, you know, feel some type of way about no seatbelts, but we not literally talking about no seatbelts. Seatbelts, buckle up. So how we got there pretty much was just talking about cars, and I was like, wow. And I thought about a slogan to go with it to kind of soften the blow for what people thought that we were trying to promote, which we are not. It was like no limits, no boundaries, and pretty much it was like if a seatbelt could hold you down in your seat, sometimes you gotta unbuckle it. It just, you know, you gotta unbuckle the seatbelt to get out the car, pretty much. So that's how we got there, that from that name, and just coming from like a love of cars. Like I think pretty much almost everybody in the band get some type of love for cars, or we love what they do for us, which is transport us to where we need to go. So I definitely have the biggest love for cars. This is the truck. It's a 99 Suburban. It got some stuff done to it. A little motor work, a little razzle dazzle, you know, exhaust done to it, whatever. I'm not gonna pop the hood and go into all those specific details, but I got side exit exhaust on it. It got a little rust on it. You know, Wisconsin weather, which is not treated yet. This is one of my projects, which is not done. This project honestly got put on hold because I started another one because I have an expensive addiction. So this is my 1971 Buick Skylark, which is what I'm currently working on. Actually, really one of my favorite cars, and I wanted a project. I'm a person like to get my hands dirty. So I bought that car to, well, of course, I mean, obviously fix it up. New motor, paint, interior, transmission, all the suspension, everything, and so yeah, I kind of put that one. I like to work on it, you know, but so yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, there's no seat belts and cars, and you know, like I said, buckle up, folks. Make sure y'all buckle up. Yeah. A little razzle dazzle. So appreciate y'all time. Appreciate y'all watching this video. Make sure you go enjoy our music and have a great time. Thank you.
That was No Seatbelts with the one incredible performance. Thanks to Kindle for joining us and telling us the origins of No Seatbelts. We've got the amazing Valerie Lightheart coming up just after this.
Hipsters, flipsters, and finger popping daddies. Knock me your loads.
Welcome back. I've got Valerie Lightheart in the house. Hey, Valerie.
Hi.
Where are you joining us from today?
I'm at a friend's house in Boston.
That's so incredible. I'm glad that you can join us even from that far away. And you've been really busy during this time. I know I've been keeping in connection with you. And not too long ago, I want to mention this because I thought this was an amazing release. You released Love and Money with Solana as a part of a series, a trio of EPs rather, in different genres called the Moonlight series, intended to analyze different facets of femme, from empowerment to sexuality, to transformation, to oppression and rage. And I want to ask, what inspired this project?
Oh man, it's
big question.
Yeah, that's a big question, but I'm really excited to have a platform to talk about it. I think that I took most of the inspiration just from watching the women around me growing up, kind of watching them triumph, watching them prevail, watching them endure these horror shows, you know, that I was like shocked by, but also interested in, you know what I mean? And watching the way that not only the way that women overcame, but also the way that specifically young women internalized like the deep facets of pop culture and internalized these ideas about what they were allowed to be and what they were allowed to grow into. So I kind of wanted to create these archetypal characters that each have their own soundscape, that each have their own aesthetic content, to break down this femme identity, this inherently relatable and universal experience into these different stories.
That's amazing. And I feel like concepts are a huge part of what you do. So I'm breaking it down because you have a lot of releases during this time. You also dropped a collaboration track called Walking Slowly with the producer, and you can correct me if I say it incorrectly, Steve the Sauce Hibicki. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
From Milwaukee. He's a Milwaukee native, and he worked with the likes of Miley Cyrus and my friends and former tour mates Ray Shrimmer, Katy Perry, and so many more other artists. How did this collaboration come about?
Instagram is wonderful. He was just looking for a Milwaukee artist to work with and just found me.
Wow. And did he say, like, was there a specific release or anything that kind of triggered him?
He was just looking to cook, and I was like, that's awesome. I'm super stoked. Like, count me in.
That makes me so happy to hear that people are looking for each other within the Milwaukee community, kind of lifting each other up. And Walking Slowly is a great track, which I'm sure we'll hear here on 88.9 soon in the future. Now, aside from this, because this is unusual times, and well, can I ask, did Walking Slowly, did you make that during the pandemic or was that prior to?
Yeah, we made it prior to the pandemic. Pretty much everything that I'm releasing was made prior to the pandemic. I just have to like put the finishing touches on the vocals for most of the stuff.
Right. Well, and that goes into what I'm going to ask you now, which is I know that the city of Milwaukee is important to you, and this is an important and unusual time in our history. And I take you to be very conceptual in the work that you do. And I was wondering if you feel like what's happening now is influencing the future music and the future creations that you are creating.
Oh yeah. No, like I feel like just not to sound dramatic, I don't want to run the risk of like sounding too over the top, but I feel like what we are all experiencing right now is this collective trauma. You know what I mean? Like we are holding hands in this immense universal wound, trying to piece ourselves back together. And I feel like as an artist, it's so difficult not to internalize that and not to like use not only your art, but your platform to try to digest and work through the really complicated feelings that brings about.
Yeah, absolutely. And fielding it through creativity. And I feel like you've been inspiring in that way. You're keeping busy, you're making music, you're creating, you're performing digital concerts, and just generally you keep going. So what motivates you to keep moving forward?
I just love it. I just love it. So I'm very obsessive. I have a very obsessive personality where I'll have like a vision, like a song or like, I don't know, just some kind of like visual thing. And then I'll just really fixate on it. And I'll be like, everything that I have to do has to be building toward this. Otherwise, I feel really like listless. You know, I get restless really easily. So I kind of have to like fixate on a storyline that I can like move forward through time.
I understand that. I'm a doer. I always have to be doing. Otherwise, I'll go wild. So
yeah.
I can see that. I can see that as well. And on that note, then, do you have anything new coming out that we can know about?
Yes, I'm very excited. I have a new EP coming out. The date is kind of to be determined. There's still some work being done on it, but it's the corresponding EP to Love and Money, the single. So it's kind of, oh, there's a cat. It's called the Goddess EP, and it's the archetype of the goddess, of, you know, the woman that society wants to create and then consume. And it kind of breaks down that idea.
That's really cool. I'm excited and I'm looking forward to that. Is there anything else you want our Radio Milwaukee listeners to know?
I think that's it. Yeah, just follow me on Spotify, keep an eye out, vote. Yes,
voting is so important. I mean, and also aside from supporting you in that way, are there other ways our Radio Milwaukee listeners can support you, Valerie?
You see, if you go on Spotify and you silence your phone, you can just loop somebody's song and really hike up the streams.
That's the way to do it. I believe it was Wolfpack who did that. They made a silent album and had that go. But you know what? That's the way.
They're living in 2030. They're light years ahead of us. But yeah, no, just stream the music, engage with it, you know?
Well, thanks so much for spending time with us, Valerie Lightheart. We're going to learn something from you today. Here's Valerie's tutorial on how to get and create beautiful visual content here on the 414 Live Variety Hour.
Hi, I'm Valerie Lightheart, and I'm just going to give you guys a quick step-by-step tutorial on how I create my visual content. Okay, so the first thing that I do usually is I think through the concept, the aesthetic, the emotion that I want to invoke, and I'll create kind of a mood board to describe the feeling, whether that's on Google Drive or Pinterest or one of the other, like, I use like a million sites for these, but right now I'm on Pinterest. So for this shoot, we're going with something really soft, really feminine, really nature-based. So I'm going back to this old Pinterest board that I made for a film that I did. So it's going to have kind of like a wild abandon to it while still being very grounded and still being very whole. So next I move to wardrobe, and sometimes if I don't already have a piece, I will make it. So I was really inspired by like the 18th century revival going on in fashion, and I made this top out of a tablecloth. So next I do my makeup. I'm out of town right now, so I don't have as many tools at my disposal, but we'll see what we can do. Just blend it right on out. I like to keep it pretty simple. Just kind of highlighting the pieces that you want to emphasize. And usually I like to go with a more like feminine, natural, youthful look. So it's lips, cheeks, and eyes for more. Here. Alright, we're done. And the next step, now that we've got makeup, wardrobe, and aesthetic down, is to just get to the location and shoot. Also, I am shooting on a Canon 6D, and I have a 50mm lens with a 1.8 f-stop on it. This is what my setup looks like. If you can see it. This is our gorgeous shooting location today. Also, we are not just doing a glamour shoot, we are also doing a product shoot for my friend's company. It's called Vedic Botanicals, and she does
organic herb-based body care products.
Yes. Look at that. Oh, not that. Look at that heckin' majestic water. Oh boy. In terms of editing, I do all my own video editing and most of my photo editing myself, and I do it all in Adobe products. Here we've got Premiere Pro open, getting ready to edit this very video. So, from first thing in the morning on a shoot day to doing makeup, getting together the wardrobe, finding the props, and editing in my Adobe suite, that is how I do all of my content creation.
They made the house to rest upon your daydreams. They made the house in white cotton panties. Tuck me in and crawl in beside me. Tuck me in and slip soft inside me. When you press me to the ground, whisper soft against my neck. Make me blush the deepest dark. Only yours would come from there. I hear you howl in the dark. You rise and you growl soft against my heart. Your voice is so loud, but it feels good to hear the way that you need to feel my fear. When you pin me to the ground, whisper soft against my neck. Make me blush the deepest cry.
A beautiful performance by Valerie Lightheart and a very informative breakdown of how to make visual look good. It's so cool. It's so awesome how multifaceted our artists here are in Milwaukee. Next up, we've got Vincent Van Great just after this.
Introducing the Radio Milwaukee Merch Store. Official merchandise that helps support your friendly neighborhood public radio station. Items in the inaugural Summer 2020 collection are short run and limited quantity. Snag your favorites today at store.radiomilwaukee.org.
Welcome back. I've got Vincent Van Great here. What's up, Vincent?
Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Where are you joining us from today?
I am at the beautiful No Studios.
Amazing. Using those creative spaces here in Milwaukee. So you're a producer, you're a rapper, you're a singer, you're the triple threat here in Milwaukee and Milwaukee Journal Sentinel's artist to watch. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm so excited to talk to you about all the things you've been doing. I feel like you said you just got back from Orlando. You're always working towards the next thing. And these have been some incredibly unique times in history, in the world. And I'm just curious, has this been an accelerator for you to create, or have you had to push yourself to keep creative in this time?
Well, for all artists would probably say the same. Some days are better than others. That's even before the pandemic, but during this time, I've just been blessed that I've been able to stay productive and, do impactful things as far as a musician and an artist and, have community impact with some of the things I've been doing. So I've just been blessed to be able to stay productive during this time because, it's super crazy right now.
Yeah, it is wild. But I feel like from the outside, I've seen you adapt really well. You've adapted really well, not just to creating, but also to the live music that's happening now. I saw you do Full Fest, the Cooperage Takeover, the Bubbler Bash, and so much more. What does that feel like navigating this new platform? And do you have advice for other artists who are trying to adjust?
Yeah, a lot of people has asked that question recently, and as far as the virtual shows and the virtual performances now, that's super interesting because obviously there's no human interaction and there's no one really watching you. People are watching on their phones and at their homes, but you don't get that crowd interaction and you don't get to hear the crowd cheering or know if you really did a good job and feel that energy from the crowd. And I would just say, we're creative. So we have to just find ways to navigate through everything. And I think that's the beauty of art, is you can create whenever. And, I believe art is so impactful. And whether it's a painting, whether it's music, anything that's creative, I feel like it's impactful because it opens the mind up and it gets you thinking in different ways. And it kind of takes you away from all of the negative and all of the pressure that the world is bringing upon all of us right now. So my best advice to other artists would be to just keep your eyes on the prize and just stay focused and just stay creating, because that, for me, that heals a lot of stuff, just creating and being able to have that outlet.
Absolutely. And keeping moving in this time. And just really quick on the live stream aspect of things, there's clear disadvantages, of course, but do you find, having done quite a few, are there some advantages to doing them?
Yeah, I've built a lot of relationships during this time with some people that, maybe during summer festival season and me touring a lot during summer season, I wouldn't have got to meet them doing these shows and, different production crews and different venues that are, keeping us artists safe during this time and still allowing us to perform. So I feel like this time is, definitely helped me with some networking and just getting to know some people that I might not have gotten a chance to know during this time.
Absolutely. I feel that same way, especially because I basically got here a pandemic beginning and have only met people this way, which is so interesting to do and so unique, but hopefully we'll all get to be together again in the future. But on the subject of live performances, we're going to see one of your performances at the Washington Park on Wheels, where you were literally on a moving stage going through different neighborhoods, which I find incredibly unique and so special. Can you talk to me a little bit about about that experience?
Absolutely. That was an amazing experience, and thank Milwaukee County Parks and Kate from Washington Park Wednesdays for, getting me on board to do the show. And originally I was booked with my band Ninja Sauce to do a big show at Washington Park. Every summer they do the Washington Park Wednesday series. But obviously now we're in some different moments in the world. So they got this thing together where, like you said, we were basically on a flatbed, on a Washington Park Wheels flatbed, riding through Washington Heights and Tulsa and Sherman Park, Washington Park neighborhoods. And Washington Park Wednesdays did a great job because the goal was to bring music to the community still, because a lot of people from that community, that's an outlet for them. They come to that show, kids ride their bikes, it's a community thing. So it was just awesome that Washington Park Wednesdays and those guys were able to put this together. And it was great feedback from the crowds. I mean, not the crowds, the neighborhoods and people on their porches and kids waving and enjoying the music, genuinely bobbing their heads, smacking their knees, and just enjoying it. And, West Tank did a great job on the visual. And, I just can't thank Washington Park enough for the opportunity.
Absolutely. It's incredible to watch. You're all going to see it or hear it in just a moment. Now jumping to the past a little bit, when we're talking about these performances, I saw you made an appearance on Eric Andre's Adult Swim comedy tour and made a single, Eric Andre, which I love. And I love the mutual love between you two as well. I mean, calling you a legend is like high praise, high stakes. Now, of course, tours are on hold, but do you have any new projects that you're working on that we can know about?
Maybe, Aisha. It's kind of going to be a surprise. So I just want to have the element of surprise with it and, give people a treat.
Absolutely.
Follow me on, wherever you can and keep up with me. And, you'll hear something really soon about some new tunes coming from Van Great.
I'm very excited. So everybody keep an eye out. But also into that, how can our Radio Milwaukee listeners support you?
Follow Vincent Van Great, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Vincent Van Great everywhere. You can listen to my music on Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music. And, during these times, vote. Everybody get out and vote. Let your voices be heard, because what we think matters. And, do what's right and get out there and vote and, help us all out by doing that.
Absolutely. Well, Vincent Van Great, thanks so much for joining us. We're now going to go into your sneakerhead collection right now here on the 414 Live Variety Hour.
What's up, guys? It's Vincent Van Great. Shout out to 88.9 for having me tonight. Now, if you listen to a lot of my tunes and you listen to some of my records, I'm always talking about the freshness and being super fly and fresh kicks and LeBrons on my feet and stuff like that. So tonight, I'm going to give you guys a little inside look at, a few sneakers that I got in my closet. I'm not going to show you all of them because, that's not my steez, but I'm going to let you check out a couple pair of kicks that I got and, enjoy it.
It's great. What?
These, the LeBron 17s, the Monstars. Some of my favorite joints right here. The LeBron 17s are like my favorite kicks ever. The design of the shoe, the air bubble, the different prints on the shoe, the colorways. I just love the LeBron 17s. These, I actually performed in these ones for Full Fest for Future Urban Leaders, and I rock these out. So shout out to Future Urban Leaders. And it was a good night. But these are LeBron 17s, the Monstars. Get a nice little good look at them. Let's keep it going. More LeBrons, that's how I do it, man. If you've been to Van Great shows, you see me rocking bronze all the time. Like I said, LeBron's just a great stand-up guy, I Promise shoes named after LeBron's new school that he just opened up recently, not too long ago, I believe a year or two ago. But these are the I Promise joints dedicated to his school. Just an exclusive shoe. It's got stuff. It's got a nice statement and nice quotes from LeBron on the shoes, on the shoestrings. If you could check that out. But I love these shoes and these, just different colorways and stuff that LeBron does with the shoes and Nike does. I Promise LeBron 17s. Love these joints. So you gotta have a pair of Vans in the collection. You know, the crispy Vans, some high top joints. You know, you can be steezy in the Vans, or you can be sporty. You know, you can be skateboardish. But you gotta have a pair of crispy Vans in the collection. You know what I mean? So I still rock Vans. And my lady keep me in a Vans store. She loves Vans. So you gotta have the Vans on deck all day. Keeping it going. More LeBron. More LeBron. More LeBron. LeBron James. LeBron 17s. Force commands. You know, nice steezy kicks here. I have actually not performed in these yet, but you know, the LeBrons always feel like pillows when you're on stage, so they good performance shoes, and you know, I rock them for the style and for the freshness, you know. So the LeBron 17 Force Commands, like I said, I love the 17s. They're like my favorite kicks ever. Moving forward, let's rock a couple classics. Let's show some classic kick. Air Max 97s. Breast Cancer Awareness Month coming up, October. So you know you gotta have some kicks in the closet to show the appreciation and the support to all the survivors and people that's fighting breast cancer awareness. So, you know, and I know a lot of people personally that's been affected from breast cancer. You know, it's close to me, so you gotta have some pink in the closet for the supporting breast cancer awareness. Let's keep it classic. Bam. My favorite MJs ever right here. I actually performed in these at Summerfest, opening up for Bone Thugs and Harmony. And you know, like I said, these are my favorite Jordans ever, but I gotta have these on deck, and nothing wrong with these, baby. You gotta have a pair of these Fresh Boys on deck. So my favorite pair of MJs. All right, man, now, gotta have some Reebok classics, you know. As I got older, I found some appreciation for them, and just gotta have a pair of nice Reebok classics. I just like them a little stylish, since you know me having a different colorway in here. But you know the concept sample 004. And then I'm gonna end this off real quick. Gotta bring the moon boots out. Some cats used to hate on the moon boots, man, but I used to shred some of you cats on that court that was hating on the moon boots in the moon boots. A lot of cats ain't rock with the moon boots, but you know I'm space alien fly, so we always got the moon boots on deck, baby. Kobe, rest in peace, Mamba. But hey, I got so many more kicks, but I don't have time to show you guys all those joints today. Catch up with me soon. Shout out 88.9. Savs Crew for life. Peace out.
I love you, Milwaukee. Hey. What? Lab rat, how I'm chasing the cheese. Tell them it's Savs over everything and make them believe we the flyest dudes in town, from up top down. Talking about the tracks, so we killing the sound. Hey, freshness, did I mention my kicks? Call cool, take up, fade clean as it gets. Dudes don't even compare, so don't even try. Catch me way up here, I'm somewhere one with the sky. It's that super duper freshness. We always go bless this. It's that super duper freshness. Check it. Scotty Pippen's in the jeans out of roots. Fresh fade in the backpack too. Cut smooth, but I still need my backpack. Hey, your wife think I'm all that. Now we the freshest in charge. Lasers in the air, yeah, we shoot for the stars. White lightning, no ceiling. It's me, you see, no heathen. On fire, still burning. It's my time, my shine, your learning. Just reach out, just reach out. Girl, I'm a man with the plan that you heard about. Just reach out, just reach out. Girl, I'm a man with the plan that you who do you think you are? I'm the man, girl, man, yeah. Who do you think you are? The man, girl, I'm the man, girl. Oh, 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 oh. To get fresh. I'm
I'm headed to my I might not bring myself back. I said I'm headed to bed now to get fresh. I might not bring myself back.
Thank you guys. I'm Vincent Van Great. This is my band Ninja Sauce. Shout out to Washington Heights and shout out to Washington Park Wednesdays.
Woo! Oh, let's go. Got me feeling like Kurt. They jacking the steez, I'm king with the rings. Break with the shot with the hook, I'm Kareem.
I'm like obsessed with that. That was such a great performance, such a good depiction of what performing during these times looks like. And before that, the sneaker collection I'm obsessed with. I am jealous of. Thanks so much to Vincent Van Great for joining us. And thanks so much to you for watching the 414 Live Variety Hour. It's our 4th episode. I'm Aisha Jaffer once again. Please support these amazing musicians and the causes they support. Please go out and vote, support Radio Milwaukee, and keep us on the air and doing everything we do. You can click the donate button on the Facebook event if that still exists, or go to radiomilwaukee.org and click the orange heart. Thanks so much to Fuzzysurf, No Seatbelts, Valerie Lightheart, and Vincent Van Great for joining us. Thanks also to Lucas Seidel, Nate Imig, and the Radio Milwaukee team. And thanks to you, the listeners, for caring about and supporting our community. Good night, everybody.